Long time no see is the Heine brothers back again. This time, a full length video on our top 3 favorite movies of 2024. Let's get underway with number 3 for me is gotta be Wild Robot from DreamWorks. It's their second best movie, only behind How to Train Your Dragon. They coincidentally both have the same director. Chris Sanders directed both of those movies, and if you love Iron Giant, or even if you just like Iron Giant, Wild Robot is somehow better than Iron Giant. Iron Giant's good, but Wild Robot's great. You might need to get a box of tissues. You might shed a tear or two, but it is one of the best animated movies I've seen in a long time. It's definitely one of them. It's a good year for animation overall. That's my number 3 for me is Wild Robot. Number 3 for AC.
My number 3 is If. It's the best Universal Studios animated film of this year. It stars Ryan Reynolds, Steve Carell, and Louis Gossett Jr.
All right, number 2 for me has got to be Dune Part 2. And the reason that Dune Part 2 is not number 1 is because I have a feeling, I haven't watched it since I saw it in theaters. I haven't watched it on Max. But I have a feeling it's one of those movies where the best possible experience is seen in the theater. And it just isn't as good. I'm assuming that, so I might be off on that. But it's one of the best sci-fi movies. It's a classic sci-fi movie. Dune Part 1 was a good start. Dune Part 2 completes everything, and a lot of things come together for it. Great performances overall. I enjoyed the Hans Zimmer score. Definitely see it if you're a sci-fi person, even if you're not. It's one of those few sci-fi movies I think everybody should watch. Of course, watch Part 1, then watch Part 2, and you'll be set. Number 2 for you.
My number 2 is Despicable Me 4. It came out back in early July. It stars Steve Carell, Miranda Cosgrove, and Will Ferrell.
All right. This is what you've all been waiting for. Number 1. Number 1 for me has got to be Inside Out 2. And I know I said Wild Robot was one of the best animated movies I've seen in a long time. Well, Inside Out 2 just happened to be just a little better for me. Just a little better. Of course, I love the first one, but it somehow is on par, maybe even a tiny bit better, depending on who you ask. May even be a tiny bit better, but I was skeptical when I heard the news they were doing a Inside Out sequel. Not because I didn't think Inside Out would lend to good sequels. It's just Pixar's direction the past few years, mainly since 2020. I wasn't sure because of 2020 they had 2 great movies Onward and Soul. But after that, it's just mediocre movies. And even the ones that were decent don't really leave much of a lasting impact, at least compared to the dozens of other movies they have in their catalog. So I was also probably pleasantly surprised. Great movie, I'd check it out. Watch the first one, then watch this one. There are some things that I was afraid they'd do a couple things that would ruin the movie, screw it up, but I'd heard they were thinking about it, but then once there's backlash on some certain projects or certain scenes and projects, they thought it probably better be left alone. It was good that it was. Stuff wasn't necessary. I love the movie, and I think you will too if you love the first Inside Out. So that's my number 1 movie for 2024. What is your number 1 movie of 2024?
Well, my number 1 movie of 2024 is Beverly Hills Cop 4. You got that right. It stars Eddie Murphy and Judge Reinhold. It also stars Joseph Gordon-Levitt. I've been looking forward to a Beverly Hills Cop 4 for many years now. I've seen the first three, and that they've been either decently good or so yeah. It's been and I heard some negatives and I got some bad critics and some good ones too. So if you're a big Eddie Murphy fan or a big Beverly Hills Cop fan or Judge Reinhold fan, please go check it out on Netflix. It's a Netflix movie. I promise you all, it's a good film, and it was the first Judge Reinhold film since 2017. So, Judge, if you're watching this, my friend, please make more movies, and I'd like for y'all to do at least a fifth Beverly Hills Cop in the next few years.
Yeah, how would you compare it? Where does it rank among the franchise? Is it the best, second best, third best, or is it the worst? Where would you put it?
Oh man.
I've only seen the first one, so I don't really have a say in it. But what would you
Oh well,
say about it?
definitely not the first one. I would say, um, okay, I would say probably the first one, and then third one second, and then this one third, and then the second one.
So you say it's the third of the fourth, so it's like it's number three on your ranking. Okay.
Yes.
So not bad. It's not the worst one.
Yeah.
All right. That is our top 3 favorite films of 2024. Let us know what videos you want to see us do next, whether it's top 3 or just a ranking in general. So, thank you for enjoying the video and see you next time.
But bye now.
Bye bye.